Hello, welcome. My name is Jenny. Thanks so much for joining me for today. I wanted to take a moment to actually talk to you a little bit about how to use essential oils and why we would use them in those particular ways. So first of all, you might know we've already got aromatic, topically, internally. We can use them in household products such as cleaning products, skincare, hair care, lots of different ways. And then of course with cooking. So I'm going to talk to you about each one of these main ones and then break down why we'd use them and how we would use them. So first of all, for aromatic, if you know about essential oils, you probably know at least that they have scents and you can smell them. You probably maybe heard of the term aromatherapy, so hinting to the idea that we can actually do a little bit of healing or therapy using essential oils. What's really cool, there's a part of our brain is the primitive brain called the limbic brain. The limbic brain, very basically, so there is a lot to what this part of the brain does, but very basically it's where our emotions and our memories are stored. So already you're familiar that when you smell something, it can take you off to a wonderful time in childhood or perhaps a traumatic time, so you can see the power of the sense of smell. What's awesome with working with different essential oils is that when we smell, before we've even registered that we've smelled the essential oil, we're actually having an immediate effect on our emotions and our body's physiology. So this is just one way that you can actually use an essential oil to literally choose your mood. If you're dealing with depression, anxiety, sadness, grief, whatever the case might be, you can choose an oil to help with that. If you're needing to calm or uplift or anything along those lines, you literally have an oil that will help you with that. So you can smell to get that effect directly out of the bottle, perhaps wafting if you have a very strong sense of smell. You can even apply it maybe like a perfume, so applying to your pulse points like on your throat and your wrist. And one of the main ways using it aromatically would definitely be diffusing. What's great about diffusers is, first of all, they are already releasing their own negative ions into the air, and on top of that, the oils then attach themselves to the air particles and then they're floating around the air. So I'll get a lot more of a long-term benefits using a diffuser as opposed to smelling it right out of the bottle. This is our pedal diffuser. This one they say only covers about 100 square feet. What's neat is at my studio I use this only one. My studio is about 1,200 square feet and this actually does cover the whole thing. So I do believe that there is an element of how open your space is and how much furniture is in there in regards to how much this particular one will cover. But I love diffusing for lots of different reasons. So first of all, for killing off pathogens in the air, you can diffuse our On Guard blend, for example, which is our immunity and our protective blend. If you have odors that need to be killed off in the air, sure, you can use any particular essential oil to actually cover the scent, but the Purify, which is our cleansing blend, is an amazing one to actually help to kill off odors in the air. You can also apply that onto a cotton ball, chuck it in your sports bag or in your shoes, whatever the case might be. If you're in need for helping with weight management, diffusing our metabolic blend, which is the Smart and Sassy, will actually help you to curb cravings or help to reduce or suppress appetite. Of course, emotion. So if you're in need of any kind of emotion, whether it's calming before you go to bed or focus so you can study or do a presentation, anything along those lines, it's going to be great. You can choose an oil to choose a mood, basically. And one of my favorite ways to use the diffuser is actually for opening airways. So I love to diffuse our respiratory blend, which is called Breathe in the US or Easy Air in Canada. I've been using that one to help keep my airways open, and actually a side benefit for me is it's helping Eric with his snoring too. So a great one that I definitely diffuse every night and use pretty much every day. But those are some of the main usages for doing aromatic. In regards to topical usage, now if you do a little bit of research, and I can say that when I went to school, I was taught the only essential oil that is safe enough to use neat meaning directly on the skin, is lavender. Further research even indicates that there are no essential oils out there that are actually safe enough to use on the skin. Now, what I want to offer is the reason I'm working with these particular doTERRA oils is because the purity and the quality that these oils offer is not compared from what I have found in the industry. Okay, so we've got the highest purity. We're getting them sourced from where they grow indigenous around the world, making sure that there's no chemical or contamination that can happen basically from the growth, from the harvesting to the extracting to putting it in the bottle. They test it at every stage to ensure that that purity and that quality is maintaining that standard that they have come to know from doTERRA. So I personally do use all of these oils directly on the skin. There are some that you want to watch, such as like your hot oils, which could be like oregano or cinnamon. Those ones are hot, so you definitely, if you're ever using them directly on the skin, want to apply with a carrier oil, which is something just along the lines of like a coconut oil, almond oil, grapeseed oil, anything along those lines, anything rosehip oil, so they all each have their own different benefits as well, but that you would definitely use with a carrier oil. If you ever have a skin sensitivity, if you apply an essential oil and perhaps you start to react to it, or maybe you forgot it was a hot oil and you're feeling that heat, a normal reaction would be to go to water to rinse it off, which you might already know is water and oil, they don't mix, right? So what you actually want to do if you're having a sensitivity with an essential oil, which includes getting it in your eye, is to actually dilute it with a carrier oil, okay? So it's not going to stop the penetration, it's just going to slow it down, make it a little bit more manageable. In regards to applying topically, it can be extremely intuitive. So for example, if I have a sore elbow, I can apply it directly to my elbow. If I have a tummy upset, I can apply it directly over my tummy, and so on. We can also apply to the bottoms of the feet. What's great about the bottoms of the feet is the second fastest way to absorb an essential oil into the blood. And that part of that reason is because the pore size is large, and there's also a ton of pores on the bottom of the feet compared to the rest of the body. And then of course there's the reflexology point of the feet. So when you're actually applying the oils, you can use the direct foot reflex point or just apply over the whole foot if you're not familiar. But those different points of the feet actually do line up through meridians within different parts of our organs. So a double whammy with that one. Another way to apply it topically is actually to the back of the neck. There's a place called the suboccipital triangle, and if you actually look at where the jaw meets your neck at the back of your ears, and then the lines in the back of your neck, and then the very center where your jade pillow is, those 5 points actually make that triangle on the back of your neck. And if you apply those essential oils directly there, it actually is another way to push it into your limbic brain. So lots of different ways you can use an essential oil, directly along the spine, all sorts of different ways. Okay, now when it comes to internal usage, I love this topic. Again, in school, I was taught we cannot use essential oils internally unless otherwise specified. So there is that guideline that if it's specified that you can use these internally, then it is okay. The reason why it wouldn't be okay is, again, because of the possible contamination, the purity. A lot of essential oils are synthetic these days, so you got to really watch which ones that you're actually purchasing. So when it comes to internal usage, it is very common for you to not be able to do that, okay? Again, working with doTERRA oils, because they're the only oil in the 13 years I've been working with oils that I've come across that have actually said, take this internally, okay? So that's why I work with these ones. Now, when we're taking them internally, a few main ways that we can do this. First of all, of course, applying a drop into your water and drinking it, or putting it into a capsule and then swallowing it. You can make your own capsules, and some essential oils actually already do come pre-made in their capsules, so that's one main way. And then of course, applying a drop under the tongue. For myself personally, I love to do a drop under the tongue, and the reason for that is it is the fastest way to absorb the essential oil into the bloodstream. And the reason for that is because of the capillaries being so close to the surface there. It's very easy for it to absorb and then be distributed among the body. Again, the body knows exactly how to work with these essential oils, so it knows what to do. Once it's there, it's good to go. When I apply it under the tongue, again, it's going right into the bloodstream. So when I take it internally, there is an element of the liver actually having to process through the digestion process. So you do lose a little bit of chemical constituents when you're actually ingesting in that regard. So total personal preference is what I will say for that. And if you're not comfortable using essential oils internally, again, it's personal preference. There is nothing saying that you have to. You can still get the same amount of benefits if you're applying it to the bottoms of your feet or what have you. But using it internally just deals with different parts of the mucus and things like that within the body. So it's just another great way to actually be able to use essential oils if the oils you're working with actually state that you can. Okay, so I want to be very clear about that. It is not common that essential oils can be taken internally, so I will leave it at that. In regards to household products, you can make your own. If you're into do-it-yourself stuff, feel free to check into lots of different recipes. I recently made my own moisturizer. I make my own hair care, my skin care. I make tons of different products. And even if you're not into do-it-yourself, doTERRA does, thankfully, already make some itself. So it's got its laundry detergent, toothpaste, hand washes, cleaner concentrates, skin care, hair care, you name it. Okay, so if you want to start to replace some of the chemicals in your house with more natural products that do work, those will be some that you could definitely consider trying out, see if they work and meet the needs that you're looking for, the results that you're looking for. Alright, so those are some of the main ways to use it. Of course, cooking is another way. Some of the oils are actually spices and things along those lines, so you can actually apply a drop to replace maybe your ginger or whatever the case might be for your flavoring. So that's another great way that you can use it in cooking as well as desserts. So lots of different amazing ways to use essential oils, and of course they're all coming with so many different side benefits. One of my favorite things, I was watching a movie called The Ancient Secrets of Essential Oils recently, and a man basically said, what do you want the bottle to do for you? What do you want this oil to do for you? Because it really can do whatever it is that you need. And a lot of it does, if you consider that essential oils have energy, they have a frequency. Your belief around what this oil can do will make it even that much more powerful. So just to give these thoughts an idea. If you have any questions, this was a lot of information today talking about the different ways to use essential oils. So if you have questions, feel free to give me a shout, let me know. I'd love to help you in any way that I can so that you're using your essential oils effectively so that you're getting the best results for yourself. If you're ready to purchase your own oils, feel free to give me a shout so again we can discuss, make sure that you're getting the appropriate oils that suit your needs and are purchasing in a way that is best for you. Thank you so much for taking the time and watching today, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye!